I'm Toby.
And I'm Savannah.
And this is Clone Wars Season 7, A Dangerous Debt from a Certain Point of View. So Episode 7, and the sisters are still there. And they're going to be in there for one more episode. At least, yeah. With what happened in this last episode, it's a little more frustrating that the sisters are still in there. Don't get me wrong, it's always cool to see the Pikes. They're one of my favorite crime syndicates in the galaxy, far, far away.
It was essentially like a mini episode of Canto Bight. And not that it was on Canto Bight, but that it was literally, it circled around and led to nowhere.
Yeah, they started the episode captured by the Pikes. And the same thing, everything they did just led them right back to there. And then we see the Mandalorian standing up on a ledge. They a couple of them speak. One is obviously Bo-Katan.
Mm-hmm.
So we could have gotten Bo-Katan in a little bit earlier, and she could have been the one that Ahsoka was trying to help on the path.
Yeah.
And Ahsoka could have learned lessons still. I mean,
because the Mandalorians didn't follow the Jedi way, so she could have learned that same lesson from Bo that she's learning from these flat, boring sisters.
Bo-Katan could have been in Section 1313 and showed Ahsoka how hard life can be on Coruscant. We really didn't need these sisters at all.
Right, or in the least, we only needed them for one episode to maybe get her to the planet that the Mandalorians are on.
I get that, like that Ahsoka had to learn that parts of Coruscant, and life wasn't always perfect even on Coruscant, and that she did have it good up in the Jedi Temple with the Jedi. I get that, but I think Bo-Katan could have easily have shared all that and taught Ahsoka that lesson, and then we would just be so much closer. Like, it's really frustrating because the Bad Batch, was new characters that were introduced into the show, 7th season, but they did something. There was a whole purpose to them being there, and it just moved the story along nicely. I mean, even the last couple seasons of the Clone Wars, before it was done, a lot of it wasn't filler episodes. It moved the story along. Everybody we met moved. It was that earlier stuff when we got those characters that are like, oh, hey, they're just here, and whatever. But like when you're coming to, and this is the final season, you're already shorting it up for us. We're only getting 12 episodes. I don't understand why every arc is a 4-episode arc. There's just why when we could be doing so much more. So that part's been frustrating for me a lot.
My only thought, one of the thoughts that I had was that maybe they're trying to save a lot of content for Obi-Wan since they're doing their own Obi-Wan show.
Right, which would be cool.
And so that was one thought I had, and then the other thought I had was, I mean, maybe the sisters are supposed to discover something that's important somehow to the end of the war. I don't see how, but I mean, maybe.
I don't know. I just don't see them serving more of a purpose. They're really just keeping Ahsoka in a rut more than anything.
Exactly.
Ahsoka got what she needed to learn from them, and now she's just still with them. There's no point. She's learned already that life is tough on Coruscant. She needs to move on to the next lesson.
And she's just not moving forward.
She's not. She's just stuck with them. Like, I know she said in this episode, for where I come from, you help somebody no matter what. And I get that, and that's still great, but it's really not applying to anything anymore.
Right.
You're not learning a new lesson. If you're not learning a new lesson, then you're just stuck there. You're not moving forward. And the Jedi, Jedi always move forward. They're always learning more. I know there's more to go with that, but I like the one thing that was interesting, learning about their parents' death. I mean, it was actually something interesting, but I wish we would have learned that back in episode 1.
Right. Well, and it's not even the fact that, they're, again, the Annie orphan kids and oh my gosh, their parents died. It's just interesting the way the Jedi reacted. Like, let's talk about that. That's interesting. Let's talk about how, and everybody's agreeing online, typically the agreement is that it must have been Luminara.
Right,
that talked to them, and everybody's like, Luminara seemed kind of rude anyway.
Yeah, she kind of was. She was very much into the Force, like a Jedi was supposed to be. Jedi were supposed to be like kind of disconnected like that.
And it would have been more interesting to go into that and how Luminara just didn't even give a crap. Like that would have been a more interesting thing to follow.
You could have tied it back and had them been mad at Luminara, so they helped corrupt Barriss.
Yeah.
To blow up at the temple. Like, I'm sure the timeline would have worked out somehow that way, and you could have tied that in. At least you would have given
them something.
The Rafa and Trace just something more to the show.
Yeah.
Like, even the villagers kind of had more to the show. The villagers of in the first arc, I can't remember, but they were in the wings. They rode the Caradak. So even they kind of had more of a purpose, and they really didn't even have a purpose. So that's just been really frustrating with that. You're introducing great characters and you're doing stuff that we really want, but at the same time you're kind of bringing in this stuff that just, it's fine if we didn't want it, you know, that's one thing, but at least it should move the story forward. It should, I mean, everything.
Yeah, it's just, it's hard, it's like, what's the point of these characters even, besides just the teaching Ahsoka that one lesson? There's no point to them outside of that. And that just, sorry, you're a bad character at that point. If you have only one purpose and nothing more to you, you're a bad character.
Well, and like, this show has always been helping to connect the dots between the episodes and just everything. I mean, the Clone Wars has connected episode 5 to episode 2. It connects stuff all over. There's just no connections here. I mean,
even if they tied them to Rebels somehow, that would have.
Right.
Like, what if they became Rebels? That would have been an interesting, you know.
Right. Yeah, but
I guess we could see if that's where they're going with it. I mean.
But we never met anybody like that in Rebels. Like, it could be.
Well, yeah, but Rebels, like you said, they had a lot of different cells.
So yeah, they could have been part of another Rebel cell, which.
And we wouldn't necessarily know, you know.
Right, but I mean, I know we haven't watched the Resistance show yet all the way through. Like, I guess we haven't even really started it, but I think we would have seen online that they were in that show. So
yeah, no, that would have been mentioned by now. That would have been the classic argument for
so,
people who say, how dare you have a complaint against Star Wars.
Right, yeah. I mean, Star Wars is always, like, it's not about connecting everything together, but it's a very well-connected universe. Everything, for the most part, flows pretty well. They try to. I mean, stuff has to be kind of fixed. But, I mean, like, you spent all that time bringing Anakin and Grievous so close together this whole show, and they never meet, and because they're supposed to meet in episode 3 for the first time. So it's just when, you know that they put that much attention to detail and effort into it, and now we're getting this. It just seems a little bit more lazy, just not like. And I know I'm not bashing Dave Filoni or anybody. I'm just, it's different, and you can tell that it's different.
It does feel like there's interference. It doesn't feel like this was entirely Dave Filoni's idea.
Exactly.
And whether or not that's, you can blame whoever you want. You can blame Kathleen Kennedy. You can blame Disney. I don't care who you blame. The point is, this should be 12 episodes of whatever Dave Filoni wants. And I'm sorry, but I do not believe that this is what he wants.
Yeah,
it
was a secret thought in the back of my mind when this was all announced. I was worried. I'm sorry. As much as I just feel like the sequel trilogy is a very disconnected from the whole saga, and I really feel like this season is being disconnected from the rest of the show.
Seasons.
Which, I mean, even if there was a time jump, which there really couldn't have been a big time jump, it still shouldn't feel this disconnected.
Right. Because, like, you look at Season 6, and Season 6 kind of felt a little bit disconnected because you didn't have Ahsoka, and you'd gotten used to her there. But it still felt like Clone Wars. I mean, it was about the clones, you know?
Right, yeah.
You learned a lot about Order 66 and, like, the chips in their heads, and, like, it was still relevant to the Clone Wars. It wasn't just, okay, what lesson does Ahsoka need to learn from these two strangers?
Well, I think one of the biggest things that the Clone Wars did originally was it kind of helped us relax those people who were all like, oh, Anakin just turned all of a sudden, just went kind of bad, and really nothing built up that he's just a whiny little baby the whole time. The Clone Wars kind of showed what he had done, how much effort and everything he put in. Yeah. And I think those crucial moments are those months before Episode 3 takes place. Right before he comes back to Coruscant. I think those are very crucial. He's been away from Padme for a very long time in the Outer Rim sieges.
Yeah.
And just everything he's been doing, and the Jedi just aren't doing anything. They're not giving him anything. They're just holding him back. Like Anakin says in Episode 2, he feels like Obi-Wan is holding him back. I think the Jedi were holding him back. And this is where Season 12, or Season 7 especially, could be used to show this gap closure more, to get those people to calm down about Anakin.
And they did. They teased us with that, with the dark side moment in the episode with Trench. They teased a little bit of that, and we wanted to see more. That's what we wanted to see more of.
I want to see more of that. Let's, especially in this day and age when you have people and even though I agree that it was rushed, people were mad at how Game of Thrones ended with everything. So one of the biggest complaints is that we didn't get to see the madness happen. I believe we did. And maybe when our...
More so, but we should have seen more of it.
Exactly. We should have seen even more, like, heavy, hard-hitting evidence. Like, things that are actually like, oh my god, she's actually going.
Right.
So we should see more of that out of Anakin. More like, holy... That's what the Trench thing was. Like, okay, he's slipping. He's, the way he reacted to that, and...
Even more with, like, Palpatine and Anakin would have been good. I mean, granted, he didn't see Palpatine, I'm guessing, until Episode 3.
Well, maybe even just more on Palpatine and watching him manipulate even more. Because, again... In most evil plans and just in plans in general, the last part, and in movies especially, the last part, that's what sells your movie. And that's what sells your plan. Everything comes together those months before the completion, and those moments, that's when everything is at its most critical, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And so yeah, I really wish we've gotten way off topic here. But I really wish the sisters had been less. A 3-story arc was still pushing it, I think, and I would have been fine with a 1 to 2 story arc for them. I mean,
again, if this was a full season, a full 22 episode
then
season,
it's fine. Then have this 3-story arc,
right,
and it makes
exactly.
sense. Fine, I'll be okay. But we're not getting that. We only have 4 more episodes left, which, with how the season's going, that's 1 more arc.
Yeah.
And obviously it's going to be the Ahsoka Mandalore, which was one of the things I was most excited for. But I was also excited to see Obi-Wan and Anakin and Mace. Like, Mace trusted Anakin for most of the Clone Wars series. But in Episode 3, he doesn't trust Anakin as much anymore. Why?
Right.
Let's see why he doesn't trust Anakin. That's what this season should have been kind of helping.
Right.
Because that had to have happened recently, to lose somebody's trust like that, so just hardcore. Like, I don't trust him. Like,
well, yeah, he has no, like, Mace doesn't at all hint that he thinks that there's something wrong with the relationship between Palpatine and Anakin in Episode 2. That doesn't seem to be a problem for him whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
And then suddenly in Episode 3, they're all concerned about his relationship with Palpatine. Why?
Exactly. Let us see more.
Like,
what else has Palpatine been doing that's making the Jedi go, well,
yeah.
right. Like, what is it? There's got to be more. And this would have been a perfect time to explain that. Or show that. Because you can put it in a book. I'll read it because I read it. Every Star Wars book that comes out. But not everybody does that. You know, it's a lot of people don't even think they should have to watch the show to get connecting dots, which I think you should. It's just more information. But yeah, so I was super happy to see Bo-Katan at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
I was also super upset at the same time because she could have just been in there earlier.
And she should have taken over the end of that episode. She should have been like, all right, Ahsoka, we're pulling you out. We need your help, you know?
Right? I mean, we're gonna. Don't get me wrong. I'm really. You know, this is how Ahsoka's gonna get to Mando. This is how we're gonna get to that final arc that. I'm really hoping one episode is longer than normal. I really hope they put everything into these last 4 episodes.
Surprise, they're all an hour long or something.
Yeah, well, I guess there's technically 5 episodes left, right?
Yeah, but this is the last part. The next episode will be the last part of their 4 arc.
Yeah, so we'll get this episode, and I really hope that, I don't want him to die or anything, I don't want that. They need to go away. They need to be done on the show. It's fine, let's move past it. You know, I mean, Anakin's got an Axis. When is an Axis gonna blow up? I mean, It's blown up in Rebels. I would like to see that. I mean, I would really like that. That's a huge connecting piece that you could then use to connect those 2 shows even more together.
Well, and again, this whole 4-part arc is supposed to be about Ahsoka, and so my thought was we were going to kind of see, and I know you can't see a rapid transition, you know, it needs to build, but I was hoping we would see a little bit of how Ahsoka went from leaving the Jedi Order to being the person she was in Rebels, because she was very, even though she says she's no Jedi, she was very Jedi-like in Rebels. She was very calm. She was very...
Oh, yeah. More Grey Jedi,
you know,
for sure.
Yeah, she was very, like, authoritative, and she was a good leader. And I want to see where that came from. Like, we've been seeing it throughout the 6 seasons, but I want to see what made her turn from, I hate everything, I'm leaving the Jedi Order, what do I even do with my life now, to that good leader. I want to see her become that good leader.
Well, in the Clone Wars is just about it's about our character. It's about our main group of characters. Yeah, there's a good, 50 main characters that it's supposed to be about. And wasting it on these 2 people is not time. I'm sorry, I hope we don't, if we upset somebody, that's unfortunate, but, I mean, I care just because.
I know, that's why we even have subscribers, is because you care.
I do, and I care, and I'll be upset, but I'd like to hear why you disagree with me, and we could have a conversation about that, but, I mean, I don't want to drag this on too much longer. We're getting pretty long, this will be our longest one yet, but, so yeah, we got way off topic halfway in there, but
well, it's on the topic, it's about the
overall, I'm gonna put this episode in the lower part of the season. I was more excited in the first episode with Ahsoka that she came in because I got to see Ahsoka again. Seeing Bo-Katan just wasn't enough to get it above the rest. So, I mean, we can probably rank all the episodes when we're done, but for now, this is one of my least favorite episodes so far. I would probably put most of the Trace and Rafa episodes below all the first 4 episodes.
Well, yeah, all the bad
except for the battle that took place in the village, it was either the Wings of Karadesh or the next episode. I can't remember. That would be the only one that I'd put below it because I just didn't care about that episode at all.
I still thought it was more interesting than what we're doing.
Yeah, I mean,
now.
at least we got some fun Mace Windu and Obi-Wan stuff. I mean, that's what saves that episode still.
Mace Windu is.
I know.
They're fun.
Yeah, they're just. I don't know. I'm really hoping that this next episode is just mind blowing and it makes all these last 3 episodes totally worth it.
Connect them, make it, give us the reason, make us go, oh my god, we were wrong.
Yeah, we've just been jumping randomly. I mean, boom, we go into Laura of Coruscant, she's gonna learn a lesson. She learns that lesson. What was the point of the next episode? that she's stopping 2 smugglers from doing a job shipment. I mean, Han Solo did jobs for Imperials, Jabba the Hutt, he did jobs for everybody. So I mean, I just that's not the morality we need to be seeing right now. If you want to show us morality of war. Like, let's see more of that. So, but we're gonna have to end it there. Just, we don't want this video to be too long, which it already will be. So, until next time, may the films be with you.